Grammy Award winning.
Say it again.
Come on. I say Icon Walking, BET Hip Hop Award winning DJ of the Year. I say Icon Walking.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the most successful careers we've seen in the past 2 decades. I
Wow.
say Icon Walking.
Wow.
You don't believe me? Ask Fabulous, ask Jeezy, ask Gucci, ask Lil Wayne. I said Icon Walking.
Ask him.
2 of the biggest artists in the game right now, Uzi Vert and our co-star in our Super Bowl commercial,
Tell
Jack
him.
Harlow. I said Icon Walking.
Yeah.
It's not a facade. He's not being pretentious. He's not being facetious.
No, sir.
He's not a fabricator. That's not what he does. He's really like that.
You say it again.
Ooh.
He's really like that.
I really like that.
DJ Drama's in the building.
Family. Feels good
Come
to be
on,
home. Feels
man.
good to be home.
Good to have you.
Yes.
What's up, y'all? I missed y'all,
Shit.
man.
What up, bro?
Too, brother. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but you know, I'm tuned in every day, so it still feels like I see y'all every day.
I am the culture. This can't be duplicated. I'm one of one.
One-on-one. I am the culture.
You find it necessary to say that. Why?
I just, you know, I just need people to understand that I live, breathe, eat hip-hop. Like, when you look at my career, you look at the legacy, you look at the gamut of the people and artists that I've touched from all parts of the culture, from all parts of the genre. Like, you know, when I say, like, I'm really like that, it's like what I have given to hip-hop, what I have continuously given to hip-hop, you know, the creativeness, the consistency, like, the projects if we sat here and really talked about, you know, what Gangsta Grillz means to hip-hop.
Be real about
from
it.
Tip to Jeezy to Wayne to Gucci to Fab to Meek to Childish Gambino to Rhapsody to Dead Prez to Yo Gotti to Kevin Gates to NBA Youngboy to Snoop to Dreamville. Like, we really could be here for an hour just talking about that alone. It's the most important mixtape series of all time.
That's
like,
a fact.
There's no debate about that, and you know, for what I represent when it comes to hip hop, it's like, you know, the legacy that I have, you know, generation now, what we've accomplished with Lil Uzi Vert and Jack Harlow. Shout out to my brothers Don Cannon and Lake Show. Like,
What about Willie Joe from the Bay?
shout out to Willie Joe from the Bay.
My man
Always
Rab
set
just said
tripping.
Like,
Rab, what up?
what's up, Brody? Like, I'm really like that. Like, you know, I mean, it's just fun to remind the people, just in case they aren't familiar.
Well, people get confused. You know, and Tracy was asking a question earlier about when you see these DJ compilations or mixtapes or albums.
Yeah.
What's the difference what's the difference between what I'm really like that is compared to a DJ Khaled or a Funkmaster Flex?
I mean, it's DJ drama. You know, my approach is my approach. And I think that, you know, the way that I attack the game and what people know me for a lot of times is like my work with, you know, some of the biggest in the game, but also introducing new voices, you know what I'm saying, being a part of movements early on, you know. So I like to have, you know, a Little Baby and a Jeezy, you know, a Tyler the Creator, a Symba, a Lil Russell, you know what I'm saying? You know, so really package it all together, and just how I was explaining on what I represent when it comes to the culture, when it comes to hip hop, you know, like I'm in my own lane when it comes to my albums, because, you know, my approach is like, you know, I want to have voices that, you know, really show how diverse our culture is. And, you know, shout to Khaled, shout to Flex. Like, one thing about all of us is when we put these projects together and we come with these collaborative projects, like, this shit ain't easy.
Not at all.
For nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a walk in the park. Like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication. It is not an easy thing to do. So for people listening who questions any of us, like, you know, it takes a lot. It's an amazing skill to be in this position, to be able to put albums out like this and consistently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know those the three of us that you mentioned, like we have multiple albums under our belt. It's not even like this is one. This is my 6th album outside of
mixtapes.
Outside of the 250 mixtapes that I've done. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication.
This is hip hop though.
Yeah, and
it's a competitive sport.
Very competitive sport. You gotta love it.
Talk about the rivalry. Is there a rivalry with you and Khaled? You and Flex?
Nah, there's no rivalry. I mean, first off, Flex is is somebody that I grew up inspired by. Looking up to. Really somewhat of the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? In so many aspects of He was on the radio. He was on television. You couldn't open up a magazine without seeing an endorsement with him.
That's true.
He was putting out albums. Now that Flex is a peer and a friend of mine, that's one of those things to me. It's like, wow, if I would have told the young 13, 14-year-old kid who was, aspiring to be a DJ that one day I'd be standing side by side with Flex and on the radio talking our shit and playing my records and him dropping bombs, I wouldn't have believed it. And then when it comes to Khaled, I think that if there was a generation that was dominated by Clue and Flex, then me and Khaled came along, and it was like we were the two big figures in hip hop when it came to DJs, So I think there's room for everybody to prosper and to do their thing. And absolutely, hip hop is a very competitive sport, but it's like it's like going to the league. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get on that court, and at that moment, I'm ready to bust anybody's ass. But with all aspects, we're all incredible at what we do. You know what I'm saying? In so many ways, and it's like. As DJs, I pay homage to everybody, but
Word.
I'm here. I'm one of the greatest to ever do it, and that's what it is.
Okay, so when you say lyrics like "I don't care how many times I gotta prove myself," they not built like us. There's only so many people on your level, so I just thought you was talking about them. You ain't talking about them. Who you talking about?
It's not directed at anybody in particular.
He's just talking his shit.
Yeah,
it's just talking your shit.
Yeah, it's talking my shit. If somebody feels the type of way, or if the shoe fits, but those are two brothers that show love. You know what I'm saying, specifically, but it's not for anybody at all. It's just me being in my competitive bag. Okay. That's what I do when I come on mixtapes. I talk that talk, and I'm gonna put myself in that space, and just the type of energy the record gave at that moment. That's how I was feeling.
I want to talk about Kid Capri because while we're talking about DJs and albums, this man has. I don't think the gang knows. Maybe don't give him enough because all the things you talk about Flex has done, so has Kid Capri. He put out an amazing album called The Love that he produced. He's
produced, rapping.
Right.
Yeah, did the whole thing. Yeah, shout out to Kid Capri.
Talk about his impact on the game and how it impacted you.
I mean, it's crazy. We was in the Sprinter last night talking about this, and Kid Capri is probably literally one of the earliest inspiring DJs, just off Def Comedy Jam alone, literally seeing him on television every Friday night, and watching him do his thing. And early on in hip hop, he was a very huge figurine as a DJ, and that was also seen in the light of an artist in the sense of just bigger than life. First DJ to ever have his own tour bus. He would go across the country doing events everywhere. When even there's a style of DJing as far as how DJs play records fast, and drop 20 seconds of a record and then go on to another record, or just the style of mic game in the club. A lot we all took from Kid Capri. None of us would be here if it wasn't for Kid Capri. He really set the blueprint, you know what I mean, for all of us to be in this position. We there's never a moment when you cannot give somebody like Kid Capri their flowers. And then even in the mixtape game, Kid Capri was the mixtape king before so many people came at that. Like, you know, he tells it he retired, like, because he had made millions of dollars already just off his mixtape hustle and went on to do other things. So, you know, me as a mixtape DJ, like, you know, I remember the first time I was acknowledged by Kid Capri. I remember I was DJing for T.I. On the Jay-Z and Friends tour when it became the Jay-Z and Friends tour, and I think Kid Capri was on that tour. And he walked up and somebody said, this DJ Drama, and he was like, oh, you're Drama. And I was just blown away to the fact that he even knew who I was, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's crazy. Like, as much as I've accomplished and, like, as elevated in the game and the success that I've had, I still so many times, Sway, where, like, I remind myself about that young kid who went to go see Juice and wanted to be a DJ. And when I have these moments, it's like, man, like, if I could go back in time and tell that kid, like, yo, one day you'll do ABC, like, I would have been like, get out of here, old head.
You wouldn't believe
that? Like, go back in your time machine, man. Yeah.
Let's go back in that time machine real quick. Let's see what we can do with that.
Man, we ain't like that. Yo, what's your problem, man?
You my fucking problem, man. You let everybody in the rap game sweat us and you don't even give a fuck.
I think you're exaggerating.
That's bullshit, man. We run from everybody in the record industry. We run from artists, we run from radio stations, we run from A&Rs, we run from bullshit directors with nut-ass treatments and bullshit scripts. All we do is fucking run. I feel like a goddamn track team. I'm serious. What's the matter, Raheem? Nothing to say? It's because you know I'm right. In your heart, you know I'm right.
Hey, big man, if you want to really be like that, you got to earn it.
You goddamn right. You got to be ready to throw down, stand up, and take over the game like Cannon if you want to be like that.
Cannon? Cannon ain't been rocking nothing.
That's because we wasn't there to back him up. If we was there,
it would have been 5 bad record deals instead of 1.
Listen, man, right there. That's as Bishop, DJ Drama from Juice, Tupac.
So I never got the opportunity to meet Pac. Would he have been proud?
Absolutely. I used to sit in Pac's living room, and who he was as Bishop is who he was as Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, we
like
had,
that energy.
We had those stories.
Yeah, we had those stories, and you matched it so well. And I was hitting Drama last night. You said, you see my clips, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to the fact that you brought back the original cast, too.
Oh, my God.
It wasn't just Omar Epps. You had literally Steel. You had, like,
Raheem.
Everybody in there that played the original
that's
parts.
true.
Yeah, I had Steel, I had Raheem, I had Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
What did they say when you approached them? Like, did they understood what you were trying to do?
yes, they did. It started as an idea, you know, from my staff. Shout to TC Royce and Willie Joe, and they were, you know, I've always talked about, you know, Juice being an inspiration for me to become a DJ. So, you know, it started as a small idea, like about, you know, using the concept as promo for my album, and I had just actually run into in New York, maybe like a couple weeks before the idea presented itself, and I just, you know, how my brain works. I was like, you know, what if we could really get Omar Epps to be in it? So I called him. You know, he's been up here working on his show, and he thought the idea was dope, but he was like, yo, my schedule is crazy. So when's your album dropping? Like, let's try to figure it out. And then from there, I hit Khalil, who plays Raheem, on Instagram. Ran the idea by him. He got me in contact with Jermaine, who plays Steel. And then, you know, I was like, damn, what if we could get Queen Latifah? Like, that shit would be crazy. And, you know, on the whim, I hit Shakim. Shout to Shakim from Flavor Unit.
That's family.
And then, you know, he ran the idea by La. And then I performed at the Grammys for the 50th hip-hop celebration.
Yeah. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. And while we were at rehearsals, I ran up to Latifah and I was like, yo, Shakim tell you about my idea? She was like, yeah. So explain it to me again. And I was like, you know, and I told it to her. And we literally shot her part like 2 days later after the Grammys while we were in New York. And it was like, again, like, to think that I'm reliving my childhood dreams, and at the same time, like, being this inspiration and like doing this dope shit. Like, the feedback has been so incredible, you know, to use Juice as a rollout and to recreate these scenes. And I had to really get in my acting bag. Like,
you did your thing.
you know
That's
what I
mean?
mean? Like, I had to, you know, I had to learn some lines. You know, I helped rewrite the script to incorporate the concept of the album. I'm really like that. And like, literally, you know, we shot it in like February, in a month where we were doing the Grammys, All-Star, Super Bowl. So I hadn't been home for no days. So literally, like, I learned my lines the day of.
Yeah.
Like, before every scene, I would like go through my lines and, you know, like, just, you know, play it out in my head and figure it out. So I might have caught the acting bug.
I think you got it. I see it happening. Give that man a round of applause. It looked good. It's very convincing. Go on his Instagram too, DJ Drama.
DJ
Heather B,
Drama.
you want to jump in?
Yep. Drama, glad you're here.
Pleasure.
Always good to see you.
Of course.
And I am a big fan of Symba. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so fire. I mean, everybody
Incredible.
I love, but he's somebody who just has my ear and my eye right now. What was it like? Do you still get excited too? Like,
Absolutely. Super excited. And then, you know, Symba is one of the few artists, like, normally when I do my tapes, my Gangsta Grillz tapes, and for those listening, me and Symba did a Gangsta Grillz last year called Results Take Time. He's also on my album. But when we did that tape, like, my process is normally like, I work on the music with the artist, we get it to a certain point, and then I'll go into my own zone and like literally, you know, do my parts when it comes to the tapes. But with Symba, we flew into New York. You know, I went to the studio with him, and he literally got to watch me in my process, like do his tape. And, you know, a lot of times the artists are in awe on how I come up with what I come up with, and, you know, my creative process. And, you know, the shit was like, the shit is fire. Like, Results Take Time is a very put together, you know, like, incredible creative project, you know what I mean? And Symba, you know, lyrically, he's a monster, you know. His songs are, you know, like, complete, you know what I'm saying? He had incredible features, and it was a dope project to do, you know. And like, I do get excited. Like, that's really what excites me so much, like, being a part of the artist's career at that level in the game.
Yeah.
So, you know, even for them, when it's like, you know, that sometimes that's the first time people hear them on a Gangsta Grillz platform.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and we have those early moments. So, you know, when we look back, and Symba is one of those guys, and I can say, yeah, I was there when I did his first mixtape.
That's what I always say to Sway about you. Like, when we see Uzi, I'm like, yo, do you remember when we was in Drama Studio and he brought him by, like, yo, Sway, hey, Heather, like, and I'm like, yo,
crazy.
that was the
crazy.
same guy. My niece
guy.
still has that picture.
crazy.
Like, I remember Jack Harlow when you was like, yo, everybody. And I'm like, how the hell does Drama keep doing that? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited for Symba, like I
Yeah,
am. And
nah.
I know he's one of those
He's
guys.
honorary generation now. Shout out to my guy Dallas Martin too.
He's honorary.
go.
He got
Yeah.
a lot of Bay Area. See, La Russell's on the
Yeah,
project.
shout out to
Yep.
La Russell.
Symba,
Love
yeah.
him,
Willie
Symba.
Joe from Vallejo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
You
a
know,
lot of
so
Bay.
it's a lot of Bay in
Yeah.
generation
Set
now.
tripping.
Yeah,
Shout out
absolutely.
to Rap too, my man Rap.
Yeah.
Culture, no vultures. You know, no
You know,
vultures.
well,
Podcast.
you know, Bay Area is one of my
Better
second
talk your
homes.
Shit, man. Let me back off the mic so
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I spend a lot of time in the Bay. Got a lot of peoples out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout my guy PK.
PK.
Shout to Fab. Rest
Come
in
on.
peace to Jacka.
Jacka.
Yeah, like, the Bay is one of my favorite places on earth. So.
You got to do No Vultures podcast with Rap, okay?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
And, oh yeah, matter of fact, last time when I was at Mr. Fab's birthday party, me and him talked about that. So I'm definitely going to do his
that'd be
podcast.
dope.
My
That's
cousin,
love.
bro.
That's your cousin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go on, get
Oh,
that up.
for sure. I'm
Okay.
definitely doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna set that up. We're gonna
you,
set
sir.
that up.
Thank
I'm
you,
definitely
sir.
doing that.
You know, Drama, I love that you have so much clarity around your achievements. I think for a lot of folks, it can be difficult to really sit in your greatness because a lot of us have worthiness as a wound.
Yeah.
And so we have all these conversations around imposter syndrome. And that's why it's so crazy that there was a big chunk of your career where you felt like an underdog, even though all of us were like, Drama, you live in the sky. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
Right.
So I'm wondering, like, what were the opinions you used to care about that now you don't give a fuck about?
I've always had like thick skin, so. And I think it came from a point of like being an early blogger. Like XXL very early on had me do this blog for them, and this was like around the MySpace days. And MySpace will have you thinking everybody loves you, and then I started doing this blog for XXL. Shout out to Elliot Wilson.
Word.
And then I started like there was all this hate like in the comments when I would do my little write-ups, and I was like, wait, everybody doesn't love me, like. Hold on. And so it literally prepared me for what was to come with social media and like comments that you would say that I care about. I think the only thing the thing that probably did get under my skin somewhat is like maybe around like 20, maybe between like I don't know, like maybe 2017 and 2019 or something. Like there was a time when I would see comments that be like, damn, whatever happened to DJ Drama? He used to be, he used to be on fire, or he was doing his thing. And I'd be like, wait, what are y'all talking about? Like, I'm running one of the most successful labels in the game. I have two of the hottest artists under my belt. Like, what do you mean, where have I been? Like,
why did that bother you?
Because I don't think people were familiar with the fact of what I was doing at the time. Because I may have taken a behind the scenes role,
right.
and as being a label owner and as running the company, and being behind the success of these artists, I think there was a period when people weren't that familiar with the Little Uzi and Jack being signed to Generation Now, us making sure people knew the brand Generation Now, and we definitely waved the flag as much as we could. So I think in a sense that might have gotten to me because, like I've still been doing so much dope shit. So for people to wonder like as if I'm not still out here, I was like, no. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But what's so crazy is that just recently, like this run that I've been on, ever since Tyler the Creator, when we did Call Me If You Get Lost.
You
like,
got that Grammy, baby. Come on, man. Don't just say that.
These are Grammy award-winning vocals you are listening to.
Man, listen, I hit you last night. The first text I sent you last night was Tyler. Yeah. Got some Tyler bringing bars on that Legendary.
Listen, Tyler is when we talk about like in a sense maybe underappreciated or somebody who doesn't get talked about in that sense. Like, first of all, when it comes to the West Coast or when it comes to LA, there should never be a conversation about the greatest to ever do it without Tyler the Creator.
Tyler the Creator.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm in that energy right now.
Like what Tyler has accomplished in the last decade or the last 13, 14 years. Like even when we talk about the greats and we talk about the Mount Rushmore and we talk about the Drakes, the Coles, the Kendricks, the Nickys, the Futures, like Tyler needs to be there with them as well.
Absolutely. Tyler the Creator, I agree.
And by the way, not only am I dropping my album tonight at midnight, I'm also part of Tyler the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost, Deluxe Edition, the estate sale. Woo! So I literally have 2 albums coming out tonight.
That's that a stunt right there?
This is an unprecedented run that I'm on right now. Like there's been times when I've been on fire, but this might be the most on fire I've ever been.
And he's relaxed talking about it. That's what I like. You seem relaxed.
Said icon walking.
You did, Sway. You did.
First of all, I want to thank you for this lovely Generation Now hoodie. That's
beautiful. We got some new ones too. I got a new one for you.
All right. You see what I did there, people?
Yeah. Good timing.
We were having a discussion before you came in about the revenue and the earnings of the EDM DJ community versus the hip hop DJ community. Man. Can you maybe shed some light, break it down, and why is it that the EDM guys are always on the top of the Forbes list, but you never see Premier, you never see Kid Capri, you don't
Clark
see Flex?
Kent, the originals.
Bro, I mean,
and you rarely see women.
If you see me right now, I'm shaking my head.
Yeah.
Like, and kudos to everybody who has a passion and love for music and starts this with a dream and makes it. And I'm not here to count anybody's pockets, but like I've been to the club and watched some of these DJs perform and DJ, and I'm like, yo, these niggas is cheating. Like,
Thank you.
Speak on it.
They getting away with murder. Like, they not doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
What's the difference? What does cheating look like?
A lot of lights and smoke and
Fire, pyrotechnics,
and a crowd that is not. You can play whatever the fuck you want, and they're gonna just pump their fists to the beat. Like they're like tribal in a way. And it's just like a hip hop crowd, and what we do in a sense, like, you know, they come to hear what we like, how we want to play and what we rock. And like, you know, if you're a DJ on a certain level, you definitely can break new music. But if you go to a certain type of club, like the type of clubs I go to, and I just drop some shit that nobody's ever heard, like, they gonna look at you like, yo, what? Like, the bottle poppers are leaving, and the women are not. They don't know. The women are not dancing. They don't know this. So it's just it's just different. You know what I'm saying? And you know, unfortunately, like, it's somewhat unfair. Like, I hate to say it like that. You know what I mean? And like, especially in a sense where as hip hop DJs we put in so much work and so much grind, and you know, and are the forefathers of this culture, and even going into that world, because a lot of the EDM world, you know, when their music and the dance music kind of started getting cold, they started transitioning over into hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And still getting them same numbers. So, you know, it's an unfair scale for sure. Like, I'm not afraid to say it by no means.
Okay, it's a certain prejudice. It's a cultural prejudice in it. You know, let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those EDM DJs don't even DJ. They do pre-recorded 45-minute mixes, and they pushing the button.
The cheating.
That's cheating.
That's cheating.
And
And they pretending like they, you know.
But I think that's the cheating drama
That's
was
cheating.
referring to.
Yeah, that's cheating.
That's the cheat. Not all of them, but I'm just saying some
lot
of them.
of
And
them.
then we were saying rest in peace today.
DJ AM today is his 50. Would have been his 50th birthday.
Oh wow! Rest in peace to DJ AM.
Did you meet him?
I did. I knew AM. Yeah, I knew AM. AM was a great guy. He was somebody that was pretty much ahead of the curve on what was to come for a lot of those DJs in a sense. But AM was somebody that I feel like, you know, was part of us, like, and part of our culture, and respected hip hop, and, you know, definitely like he was a dope ass DJ, like 100%. He was a dope ass DJ.
I want to talk about I'm Really Like That before our time runs out, because you got some really special songs on this album. You know, Hold For Me featuring Lil Baby and A Boogie with a hoodie.
Yep. It's the first collaboration too.
Come on, man. I wouldn't even, you know, it feels like they might have or should have worked together. So you did that intentionally, putting them together.
Yeah, first collaboration. You know, I wanted to put, you know, two guys that had never been on a song together.
What did they think about that when you told them who was going to be featured on it?
Yeah, they was all for it.
Yeah,
they was like, let's run it. You know, me and Baby, I did one of Baby's earliest mixtapes, Hard and Hard. So, you know, again, somebody that I was there very early on in the forefront of his career. And A Boogie is my guy. He worked in Mean Street Studios, you know, day in, day out. For
What, did you had him sweeping? You had A Boogie sweeping up the studio, bro? He worked out of it.
When I say he worked it, yeah. He
recorded there.
He recorded there.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he recorded there.
Not getting coffee, Sway.
A Boogie with the broom.
A Boogie. So, yeah. You know, he spent a lot of time in Mean Street Studios, so, you know, I've been able to watch his come up, and I'm super proud of that guy.
You got another song called Raised Different. I listened to it 5 times, man, with Nipsey Hussle featured on it, right?
Yes. Rest in peace. The marathon continues.
Okay, Blast is on it, and
yeah,
and Jeezy is on it.
Damn.
Nipsey Hussle, man, it sounded like he wrote that verse yesterday.
It's crazy to think too, right?
Yeah. How did you get the verse?
Nipsey, another person, you know, a very dear friend of mine, somebody that I made history with the Crenshaw mixtape. And when Nipsey would come to Atlanta, he would also record a lot of Mean Street Studios. So that was a verse that we had in the vault, and had been sitting on for some time. And, you know, salute to Black Sam, All Money and Family. You know, they gave us the blessing. And I had the verse, and I went to Blast, and I told him, look, you know, I got this Nip verse. I want you to, you know, obviously a LA connection there. And he came up with the hook that was just felt perfect. you know, and I was like, damn, who could I put on there? You know, I played it for Jeezy, and Jeezy actually recorded his verse the day of Takeoff's funeral.
Oh,
so you see some mention in there. You know, he talks about Take, he talks about Dolph. You know, and he pays respect to Nipsey as well. So,
and tomorrow's the 4-year anniversary of Nipsey's death.
Tomorrow is the 4-year anniversary. Yeah, somebody when I posted my my release date, somebody mentioned that and brought that up too.
Oh, time is just going by.
Yeah, man,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, man, you just put me out. Jeez, man.
I didn't bring the mood down.
No,
but
it
but
did.
it's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
But,
You know,
the power to take
the
off.
fact that,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that
my brother Take Off.
Atlanta, the whole culture is still healing from that loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, absolutely.
Rest in peace to my brother Clay too. Rest in peace to
Clay passed, man.
Yeah.
I remember last time I saw Clay was at the mall when I was in Atlanta, and we just had a really great conversation.
Always a great conversation.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Clay is somebody that touched a lot of people in the business. You know, I feel like everybody has a Clay story. You know, and somebody that I spent a lot of time with. You know, in my Grand Hustle days. Even, you know, there was a moment when he managed me. He was my road manager.
Wow.
Went on the road. So, you know, definitely rest in peace to Clay.
When I think of Generation Now, and I think of Quality Control, and I think of TDE, and I think of Dreamville, and I think of Young Money, and I think of Generation Now.
Wow, that's great company.
Yeah, man. Do you see Generation Now on that level? Like, where does it rank?
Absolutely. You know, I don't know if I'm great at rankings, but you know, Quality Control, what P and Coach have accomplished is amazing, is inspiring. You know, they are our peers, but they are also someone that we look up to. You know what I'm saying? And they've done some amazing things. TDE, I was just with Top the other day. Shout out to Top, shout out to Ray Vaughn. You know, we working on something right now. Another person, another label that, you know, we look up to and we're inspired by. But yeah, when I think about Generation Now, when I think about, you know, what DJ Drama represents, what Don Cannon represents, what Lake Show represents, and then when we think about our artists and the success of them, you know, we right there. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to be, and we're gonna continue to be one of the most impactful and one of the greatest labels in the game. Like when we really look at the numbers and we look at the sales and the impact, like, you know, we got some real potent shit over a Generation Now. Like,
Come on.
we in there. We in that conversation.
Absolutely. 101. Man, I want to thank you, brother, for always coming back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No.
Man, you always come back,
This is
brother.
family. You know
Come
what I mean?
on, man.
I sat in this chair. I tried to like count in my head real quick. Damn, how many times have I been on your show and been in Sway in the Morning? I think about all our moments, like all our moments in this studio, all our moments in Mean Street Studios, all our moments in South by Southwest.
Wow.
Like
On the phone?
all our moments on the phone. Is my mic going out?
It's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So my headphones going out. All my moments on the phone. Like, yo, you speaking of Nipsey Hussle, you literally probably have one of the most embarrassing, but one of the few times that I ever tried to spit a rap. Like, we were at South by Southwest. And it was Nips. I don't know what I was thinking. Nips, we were sitting at a table, me, Sway, Nipsey Hussle, and Tech Nine, and somehow Sway convinced me to fucking rap.
Can't do it, Drama. And you let him do it to
and
you?
I think I rapped, like, I literally used the word pear, like, in the rap. It was so terrible, but
You let Sway get you.
he got me. Sway.
It's all right. You a
That's what
hyena.
Sway got me, you know.
It's all right.
Hey, man.
But I mean, Sway, you know, I tell you all the time, like, just to sit here with y'all, man, you know, you're such a legend, you know, you're so inspiring, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank
me
you.
coming up in the game, and again, like, this is one of the moments, me sitting with you, thinking about that kid who wanted to be in the game so bad, and, you know, growing up listening to even your albums, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know, the Wake Up Show, like, it's just, you know, it's legendary. Not only am I an icon, you're an icon. Not only am I really like that, you're really like that.
I'm really like that.
Yeah.
I'm really like that.
Yeah. Come on, man.
That's dope.
Nah, I appreciate you, brother. And I'm so proud of you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I love we got our relationship even outside of this late
we
show.
talk all the time.
Don Cannon
Don
can't
Cannon.
he can't do what for us so many times on the pandemic with giving
for
us
the
mixes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Salute.
It was amazing. But this
album
is
out tonight at midnight.
Citizens,
2 of them.
A lot of
2 of
people
them.
call. Well, I didn't get a chance to get to you, but get this project. No Weakness is probably one of my favorites on it right now, but
Yeah.
I'm going to continue listening. You got a slew of great songs.
Definitely.
Also, don't forget G. Perico came by yesterday.
Oh,
He got
yeah.
the hot shot.
Shout to Perico, hot shot.
Yeah, and he got
Gangsta Grillz
Gangsta
out right
Grillz
now.
too. And Lake, salute to you, Don Cannon, the whole team. Nelson is up in here too. No,
Nels!
man, come on, man. This dude is
Shout to-
iconic, man.
Shout to the Monarch family too. I appreciate everything with this album rollout. They've definitely been so supportive and so in my corner. And I'm just excited, man. I'm in a great space. My skin is clear.
I see that, man.
Talk
The
your
beard
shit,
is healthy.
drama.
Yeah, I'm drinking my water.
Come on,
I'm
man.
in the gym.
Come on.
Going back on tour this summer with Snoop and Wiz. I got a podcast on the way.
Come on.
Got a book deal.
What?
We got some amazing things happening. Documentaries is coming. The Pink Tape is on the way.
Damn.
New music from Jack Harlow. Shout to Sunny Digital. Shout to Carvina. Shout to Kai Cash. Shout to Ayla. We got some shit, man.
Kai Cash is generation now?
You heard it here first.
Damn.
I told y'all he always doing stuff here at Sway Show.
Man, Kai Cash is generation now.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Big deal.
Come on, man. Keep winning, drama.
Nah, I
For
appreciate
real.
it.
Keep winning,
Absolutely.
brother. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. You are the culture.
I appreciate
You
that.
are the culture,
and I
bro.
will continue to feed the streets and give to this culture, man. When it's all said and done, it will be said that DJ Drama represented hip-hop and the culture to the fullest.
We're going to end with legendary, okay? And what a great show we had today. Thank you, Drama. Make sure y'all support the album.
Yeah.
And on that note, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. Who we got tomorrow, DB?
Well, we have Chris Pratt, who's starring as Mario in the new Super Mario movie, and we may have, I don't even know if I should say it, because I haven't received
Go ahead.
confirmation.
It's in front of Drama, though. Just
it's
for the
big.
stunt moment. If we don't have it,
We
here.
might get Russell Crowe.
Okay, and on
Oh,
that
y'all
note,
really like that. Y'all
yeah, we
really
really like
yeah.
that. All right. and
Oh,
on
yeah,
that
y'all
note,
really like
then
that.
we ain't got nothing left to say.
We gone.